Okay, there we go. We're in there. All right, y'all. This block movements. I'm sitting here with hold on. I'm sitting here with Corey Williams. What's up, Corey?
What's up, Big BK? What's going
Oh,
on?
oh man, you know, man, another beautiful day. Another
Hey,
beautiful
man.
day out here on this world, on this planet. Uh, I got my BMT hat. In case y'all want to, if you guys want to get you a hold of some of this here BMT gear, this is a black one, so you can really hardly see the BMT plus on it, but you can see the designs in it. So BMT plus hat. You guys want to get you one of those, get your hands on one of those, man. Comment, let us know how to get in touch with you, and we'll shoot that to you. Uh, your comments will come up at the bottom of the screen like that, and you'll be able to just, say, hey, man, I want to get one of them hats. How do I get it? And then we'll show you how to get it. So what's the word today, Corey? What's crack-a-lacking, man? This is that gang. What is it? The gangster intellect.
Gates, the intellect. That's right. That's right. Man, you know me. I really try to be a peaceful man. So I'm working on some gardening right now. I'm doing a little seed plotting right now. So I'm kind of inviting y'all into my space, into my world. I try to. I'm the warrior in the garden. I try to
Yes, sir.
be peaceful towards people, but we can act up if you want to.
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy right now the way the world is. Everybody's worried about what's happening. Everybody focused on President Trump. What are you gonna do next? What are you gonna do? Nah, I'm not worried about all those things. Don't let
Yeah.
those
President
things get
Trump,
to me.
gangster, man. He do what the hell he want.
He do what the fuck he wants to do,
Hey,
bro.
he
He
done been
does
shot.
exactly.
He done been through more shit than me. He done been shot. I ain't never
Oh
been
man.
shot. I done been in a couple of shootouts, but I done been blessed not to have ever been shot. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
man.
They pulled a piece of his ear off. But then, I mean, you got to think, man, was that real, or you think that was like just a plot for something? Because you don't
You
even
know
see a
what?
scar on his ear.
It don't even matter.
Don't even matter, huh?
It don't even matter if it was real or not. The dude won the presidency. Everybody knows it was legit, and you don't hear no Democrats talking about, "Oh, we need a recount" and all of this stuff. They know
Yeah,
he still won, and we'll probably never know if he really got shot or not. Ain't nobody been close enough to be like, you know what, he got a little piece missing. Don't nobody know. Don't nobody know. It could have went straight through and they sealed it up, could have stitched it up real nice. I mean,
yeah,
when you got that kind of money, you make scars disappear.
yeah. That's right.
When you got the kind of money that makes law disappear. Come on now, come on
Yeah,
now, come on
and
now.
that's real talk, man. Because
You know what I'm saying,
yeah, we
man?
been. Hey,
When
yeah,
you got
that's
the
real
kind of
talk.
money that makes law disappear, come on now,
Mm,
come on now. You can make
yeah, you
anything
can.
disappear at that point.
Yeah,
It
you're right.
depends
You
on
can make
what you
anything
want to be
disappear at that
Houdini.
point. If you can make law disappear, man, that just means you just took control of a whole bunch of shit, and
That
that's
means you
law.
done a lot of right, right. You got all these scholars. All these scholars are weighing in, like, oh, is this legal? Can he do that? Well, he did it. He did it,
Yeah,
and ain't nobody upset enough that they trying to stop him. Or at least they're trying to stop him in the most legal manner possible. But see, let me put this on your brain for a second. Think about this. If we only are presented with two different ideas, and they're not that different. Well, I'm talking about red and blue, left and right, Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal. If you only got those two options, and we already know that they two sides of the same coin, right? Can we ever really win anyway? Think about
can
that.
we?
Can we ever really win? No.
Oh
Ain't none
shit!
of them people in there for us.
Yeah, you're right. Can we ever really win? That's a
Ain't none of them
good
people
damn
really in
question.
there for us.
I think what's the name said it even better on one of his shows on Dave Chappelle. He asked, "What do black people? need to do to overcome, or will they? And they says, and there was a white dude. The white dude answered it. He says, "Can they overcome?" You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, that's a
Mm,
good question. Can they overcome? Like, we can. We ruled the world before. We ruled the world. Us as black people. Us as people with melanin. Blacks. Aborigines. We were the controllers of the world. Hold up, man. We're gonna get on this here radio right quick. Hold on.
okay.
All right. All right. All right. So we're gonna bring it down a little bit, y'all. We're gonna stop it a notch. It's Block Movements, man. We are live on BMT Plus Radio and all social platforms and Block Movements Television. So we touching a lot of stuff right now, man. And before we got too deep into conversation, I wanted to make sure my radio listeners could tune in with us and Brock, you know what I'm saying, so y'all could hear what we talking about, man. Hear the news.
Right.
We was just here clowning about damn, what's his name? The president.
President Trump, yeah.
How he
That's
gets
wild,
away with
bro.
what the hell? Hey,
He do what the
he
hell he
he has
wants.
changed law when he wants to. Well,
I ain't
that ain't
mad at
law
him.
no more.
I ain't
Huh?
mad at him. It
Yeah,
don't
I ain't
affect
mad at
me.
him either.
It ain't hurting my money, my pocket, my check still come in every
Yeah,
week, every 2 weeks like it's supposed to. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
On the normal. On the norm. You know
But
what I'm
it's some
saying? So,
people they get worked up about that stuff. Like, oh, he's doing this and he's doing that. No, no. You know what it is a lot of people don't really want to have to defend themselves.
yeah,
They just want to exist for free. And that's
yeah.
not the way the world works. The world is survival of the fittest. And so, regardless of who's sitting in whatever seat at the White House across the country, you still got to figure out how to survive in this thing we call America, in this thing we call society, in this moment in time in human civilization. You still got to figure out how to get yourself to the finish line and how to get your offspring to the finish line. And no matter who's sitting in that seat, it's still on you. It ain't
Yeah,
gonna be easy, and it's about to get a lot harder. About to get a lot harder.
yeah.
They're seeing, and you know what? It was crazy to me because I saw a post, and Elon Musk said something about uh, there are 9 year olds who have $100,000 loans in their name. hundred
Oh yeah.
thousand dollar loans in their name. 9 year olds? What? What? That sound like some stuff you might used to hear in the hood when people would say, "Oh, my mama messed my credit up," or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what that sound like. Yeah, like my
Yeah.
mama messed my credit up so bad. Like by the time it came time for me to get a credit card or whatever, I had bad credit and all this, that, and the third. Now I'm thinking to myself, now Elon over here, he touching on some stuff. He don't even know what he touching on really, because that's not his culture. He didn't grow up
Mhm.
over here. He ain't never heard no story like that before. All he knows is there's a couple million people who've been dead for a long time who we've been paying some money to. Where that money been going?
Yeah.
Where's that money been going? The stuff that we can see, we see the country giving all this money to all these different countries, and we have people in this country who are starving, who are homeless, and that those are their tax dollars. Like people are trying to keep their head above water, and we're sending all this money elsewhere. Bro, I told you last time we sat down and we talked. I said if a million people in every city, if a
Mhm.
million renters got together, if a whole apartment complex, and you just went from apartment complex to apartment complex, if a million people sat down and said, you know what, we ain't paying rent no more,
Mm.
who gonna kick them people out, bro? Who
Yeah.
gonna kick them people out them apartments? There is no police force that's a million men. There's
Not
no,
at
our
all.
military is hardly over a million. We got 330 million people in these United States. Do you understand? And
Yeah.
our military is mighty enough that we only need about 2 million total to defend it. Come on now, stop playing. Stop
Yeah.
playing. On top of that, out of all the countries in the world, out of all the countries in the world, we have more than half of all the guns in the world
Yeah.
as a civilian population. 330 armed militia. Think of it like that.
Yeah.
That's why they created movies like Red Dawn, because it's gonna take a country invading us for them to really figure it out.
Yeah, and that's crazy, man. It's like that's what they're waiting for. That's we don't. What the hell? Y'all better get prepared right now. You better be ready right now. There's no time to be sitting around talking about, well, when it comes, I'll figure it out. Hell no. If you've ever seen that movie Red Dawn, shit, when it comes, there ain't no time to figure it out. If you figure it out, it'll be by chance of luck, like those kids did. Like
Mm-hmm.
those kids, they were lucky to get out of that, and
Yes,
they got out of it in a manner to where they could learn what the hell was going on. Because it's like, what the fuck's going on? You know what I'm saying?
what's
So they got
happening
away
right now?
from that shit and was able to figure out what was going on. But hey, when it happens, man, everybody ain't gonna have that opportunity or that time
Right,
to be trying
it's
to
gonna
figure
be too
it out.
late. It's gonna be
Yeah.
too late
Oh,
by
okay.
then.
We got another guest online. Hold up.
How you doing, Miss Maya? How are you? I'm doing all right.
Now I
I'm all right.
see
It's a pleasure
you.
to meet you.
Hold on. We gonna switch over here. Okay, I see you. What's going on, Maya?
Why she why she
Just
smiling? So she
playing.
be cracking jokes.
Nah, she's just a
You're a
happy
funny
person
person.
like that.
Oh, okay.
That's
All
one
right. That's all
thing.
right.
That's one thing that I can say. She's a happy person, man. She's
That's
not
what's up.
goofy. Some women are just
That's a
goofy,
blessing.
but nah, she's far from goofy. She's just a happy lady. Hey, but
Uh,
we're gonna show some ad for our television station right quick, and we're gonna come right back. So don't nobody go anywhere. Let me see. I think I am. I'm sure I am. I just gotta find it. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna. This is. Damn, that's not it. All right, check this out. This is what we
Check
got
out
going on. This
BMT
block.
Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, and Apple TV. We've got exciting new movies like Deadpool and Wolverine, Black
What's
Adam,
up with it, Maya?
Black Adam is cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Where's
I like
his at?
that. I watched that
TV
one on the big
shows like
screen with
Cheaters,
Sorry to say this is
the
what's
big
taking
speakers.
place in your home while you're at work.
SpongeBob,
That's funny.
SpongeBob, that's $1 million idea that I just had that you
Hey,
just said
Maya,
before
you
me.
feel free to
we
pop
even
up a
have
subject
long and
also, okay?
short-term media content
What
like
happened?
It's
interviews,
called
I say
Active.
you
That's on my
feel free
YouTube and it's on all
to pull
platforms
up
like
a
Apple
subject
Music,
if
Spotify,
you
all of
want to
that. So
also.
vlogs,
I don't know what you guys even talking about. I just
bringing it to
chimed
you
in.
live,
So.
It's
raw,
just
and
this
uncut, baby.
episode is titled "Get It Off Your Chest."
and music videos.
It's titled what?
Get it off your
Oh,
chest.
Planes just landed.
depending off
Heathrow,
your
hop off
chat.
the G4 standing.
Get it
BMT
off
Plus
your
is the
chest.
world's newest free
Oh,
streaming
okay,
channel.
okay.
So why
So if
aren't
you
you
got
watching
something you
us?
want to get off your
Sign up
chest,
today for your free
get
membership
it off
at
your chest. No matter what it is, we can
bmtgmail.us.
talk about
Now
anything
that's
we
Block
want to.
Movement. It's the block.
It's the block.
All right, y'all. This
It's
block
the
movement, man.
vlog.
It's the boy D
What? I
Smiley.
like
It's
that.
the block. Y'all like that, huh?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
vlog.
So yeah, man, we growing, man. Block Movements Television is growing, man. I want to send a special thanks out to everybody that's been there supporting us. What's up, Hez? Everybody that's been there supporting us, watching our channel, listening to our station, listening to our radio station, all that. By the way, we are live now. We got a couple of new listeners that's on here listening to us. So you guys stick with us, man. Don't go nowhere. So what's up, Corey? Talk to me, man. Get it off your chest, man.
Man, hey, we done already touched on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Folks too worried about what's going on in the White House. You need to be worried about what's going on right down the street from you.
Yeah.
That's all a horse and pony show. They
You're
got
right.
that
Why
man
do
up
you say
there.
that?
Go ahead.
Why do you say that?
What do you mean? Why do I say that?
Oh, well, I'm just. It's because
Is it because you might be afraid that is a distraction, or how in tune are you to your local politics, and do you know what your local politicians are doing right now?
Yeah.
don't get me.
Go ahead.
That's
Come
what we're
on.
here for.
You asked me.
Let's
Yeah, that's
do
what
it.
we're here for. Get it
Go
off your
for it.
chest.
Well, one thing I gotta say is I do tune in a little bit, with the politics or whatever, but I don't get too deep into it because at the end of the day, I don't care what side you're on, Republicans or Democrats. You all have one same goal. That's to control the masses. Period. Period. Point blank. I don't care. It's that. It's just to control the masses. Now look what Trump is doing now, right? Everybody's tripping about the tariffs and yeah,
The
good job, baby.
reciprocal tariffs.
The tariffs.
Yo, ocho, 8. But you're right. Everybody is wondering what's going on in the White House, and you're right in the same sense that everybody should be worrying about what's going on in their neighborhoods, because if all hell breaks, motherfucker, I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
And that's what we was talking about right before you chimed in. If all hell breaks loose, it ain't got nothing to do with that dude up there. It's going to be about you protecting yourself, feeding yourself, and being able to trust those who are around you to have your back when this down here falls apart, because they're not coming for you. They're not coming to help you. They're not coming to help
absolutely
you.
not. No, they're gonna
If
sit
you're
back
not-
in their bunkers and they're
They're gonna see who walks out last. They're gonna see who's gonna be brave enough to walk out into the sun after all the rubble, after everything's been burned down to the ground. Who's gonna be able to rebuild? And then they're gonna come to the ones who have organized, who have said, okay, you know what? We've made a way out of no way now, and you either
but
gonna fall
hasn't
in
that
line.
always been the way?
Yes,
I mean,
that is the way.
right?
That is the way.
History is
People are too
redundant.
emotionally, people are too emotionally involved with whatever plans they may have had. Can you feed yourself right now? Can you feed yourself?
Absolutely.
If the grocery stores go bare, right? If the grocery stores go bare, we were just punching old ladies in the face for toilet tissue a few years back, right?
Yeah.
When there's no more canned green beans, when there's no more tuna, when there's nothing else left to eat, can you feed yourself? The
Absolutely.
answer for a lot of people is no. Everyone's not in a good place like that.
Well, and it's not even necessarily about being in a good place. It's about the decisions that you make as well. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have a bunch of disposables, that's going to change the situation in a whole nother way versus if you had, a bunch of freezable stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you were to live off of the food that you currently have, give me a time frame of how long you could stay in the house while the rest of the world's going crazy outside. How long can you stay home before you have to walk outside to get more?
If things go down that way, I'm crossing the border. I'm gone.
Yeah.
Like,
But where you gonna go?
So let me put a scenario in your brain, right? Say you live, I don't know, Wyoming, all right? And you don't want to go to Canada. You got to make it all the way down to Mexico. Do you know how many intersections you have to cross of hungry people? Remember, you stayed in your house, you ate all the food you can, and now it's time for you to get outside, which means it's a whole bunch. You left the house because you hungry. The people who outside, who waiting on you to pass through, they hungry too. So they're just gonna let you drive down the road like, oh, well, they got gas. They had gas enough to get here. So that means they either carrying supplies on them. Like these are scenarios that writers have written about. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm pulling that screen back up, you guys. That's my I think I am. Or are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Just a screen of myself? Okay, and I'm trying to and I'm trying to get that out of there. Why am I the only one on the screen? It shouldn't be there. Let me see if I can stop media share. What the heck? That's what I get for experimenting, huh? Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-uh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One of the goals on there is to get rid of um, the educational system. Why am I on there now? Okay.
I'm learning how to do this, okay? Now you
You ain't been on here in a minute.
Good
if I
Lord.
can
Um,
So what do you think? What do you think about Project 2025? Have you read it?
I
Have you
haven't
read
read all of
any
it.
piece of it?
Bits and pieces, bits and pieces. And I know one of the things on there was to get rid of the educational system. Not only that,
Mhm,
but they're banning books on like Black history and, you
mhm.
know, LGBT, which a lot of people are upset about. I'm pretty neutral on it.
They more
Without,
upset about that than anything else.
yeah, they were. I mean, but at the end of the day, that doesn't need to be inside of a school where kids are kids. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's not it's not plausible. Like that doesn't make any sense. Why do you have books like that are in the library? It's like kids
Mhm.
don't need to learn about sexuality at that age. Like let them be kids, 7
Mhm.
and 8 year olds. And parents were going left. Like they were going to these conferences. They were telling these people off. Like, do
Yeah.
you know what this book was saying? You know what my son came home? Like, no. Nope. Which, I mean, honestly, we've been indoctrinated since the very beginning, ever since we started going to school. You know what I mean? And I was just
Very
telling
nice.
the other day, my neighbor, she was telling me, like, oh, your son needs to go to school. You need to get him vaccinated. He would look so cute. And I'm like, there's nothing right now, especially, there's nothing that I can't teach my son that they can teach him, if that makes sense. And
Yes,
yes, I understand, like,
that makes
and
perfect sense.
yeah, no, absolutely. And I
Yes.
understand the need to be social. Okay. It is important to be social,
Mhm.
but at the end of the day, if you're not social in the first place and you can't make coherent sentences and be cognitive about what you're saying, why the fuck am I going to send them off to a school and where I don't know what they're doing? People, I've watched too many videos where people have their kids coming home and they have bruises all over them, and I'm like, that just can't be me at all, like at all.
That's all right. That's all right. We'll bounce back and forth.
You guys have those backgrounds. How do you? Let me see.
Hit your settings button in the center.
Okay.
And then you should be able to add whatever background you like to.
Virtual background may require slightly more computing resources and more power. It won't let me pull up any.
But Miss Maya, you did touch on a very valid point that there's nothing that you can't teach your child yourself, that you need them to teach him, and that's because everything that we have learned in this country, we learned it a certain way for a specific purpose. It was taught to us a specific way, and the way generations before us learned it, they taught it to us because they learned it a specific way. And so, what we have to do as a community, and I'm not just talking about Black people, I'm talking about the masses that are the people, we the people, in order to form a more perfect union, we the people have to take charge of ourselves and tell them that enough is enough, and we're not going to play the game anymore, and they have to do right by us. Or, like so many times in history, you have seen where during the French Revolution, the people burned half of their city down in France, Paris, these huge cities that we learned about in our history books. We know their revolutions. We know all of their revolutions. They wrote them down for us because they wanted us to learn what they did in their history. But so much of our history is already lost that we're having to rediscover. And not many people know if we are rediscovering these lessons about history the right way. Have they been edited? Is what is becoming an issue now. And then in the age of technology, we're seeing that AI generates total fabrications if you allow it to. Hypothetically speaking, most of your AI, if it doesn't know, if it does not have a knowledge base to pull information from, how much of our history is accurately preserved online? That's what your AI has access to. Now, if those things are re-recorded or recorded online accurately, then the AI knows lies. And so there was an article that came out a few months ago where someone said that AI can be racially biased because the sources of the information that created that information were racially biased when they created it in the first place, even if they had no intentions of being racially biased.
Hmm.
There is a large majority of the United States that are sundown towns.
Mm.
I said there's a lot of majority of the United States that are sundown towns. They have sundown towns.
Sundown towns. Those are. Sun,
That's all I'm
yeah.
saying.
Hey,
And
well,
nothing
for
has.
those of you, hold on. For those of you that don't know what a sundown town is, because a lot of people don't even have the knowledge to even recognize what the hell a sundown town is, and they'll go to one of these damn towns and get their whole shit split. So you gotta kind of let them know what a sundown town is, Maya.
It's like a town that is heavily populated with European descent, and they're very, very, very racist. So, like, if
We
you are
call them melanin
okay,
deficient people.
Doing raw and uncut. It's called a sundown town because you better have your black ass in the house before sundown. So these sundown towns, I mean, it's okay to sugarcoat it, if you want to let the people believe. See, and that's kind of what Corey's been throwing out there, how everything out there is sugarcoated. It's a
It's
facade,
a
it's a
horse and
act.
pony show. It's a
Yeah,
horse and
it's a
pony show.
pony
They
show,
just trying to
exactly.
create
You
this
know what I'm
image for
saying? So
you
so
to tell you
if you
that it's
wanna, let it be looked at like that, then so be it. But I tell you, man, the real reason why they call them sundown towns is not because they got a curfew for everybody. It's not a everybody curfew. It's not a curfew for the kids. It's not we're about to start shooting fireworks at sundown. Nah, if you got your black ass on the street, we gonna start shooting niggas at sundown. So when if you hear somebody tell you, hey man, y'all be careful, man, this is sundown town. That's facts, man. They will lynch you. They still got that type of stuff going on, man. And
are you a supporter of the Second Amendment?
I have mixed feelings about the amendment.
Mixed feelings. I got to hear this. I got to hear this, Maya. Why are your feelings mixed about the Second Amendment? I got to hear these things, and if I have to, I'm gonna run downstairs and grab a book while you telling the people. I got my ears on, so I can hear.
I mean, the constitutional rights in the first hand, like it wasn't really even made for us. You know what I mean? Like
once we started using our rights to bear arms, because the Black Panthers, the Black movement back in the days, every brothers
we
walked around with their rifles over their shoulder, no problem. You know what I'm saying? So now that was one of the mistakes that they made. That was one of the mistakes that they made when they came with that move by giving everybody the right to bear arms, and they thought they was doing it for
even
themselves. But the brothers, the black people, took that, learned how to read, and they learned about that law, so they bear their arms. So what they did was threw a monkey wrench in the game. This is where Corey comes in with the pony show. What they did to make our pony show unsuccessful for us was they turned us into a bunch of clowns and started throwing felonies on us. And then they changed the law to, okay, well, let's give all these black people felonies. If we can get the Negro folks felonies, as many of them as we can, then we can't change the Constitution, but we sure can change the law. And we'll take the law and make it as you can't get a weapon as a felon. It's on you, Corey.
This book right here. It's called "We Will Shoot Back." Let me see if I can get it to focus. There we go.
yeah,
We
it
will
wasn't
shoot back.
focused.
written by Akinwale Umoja.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
Okay.
So
The first 10 pages of this book help to explain the difference between the civil rights movement and the Black Power movement. The difference between the two, the civil rights movement was focused solely on the treatment of people, while the Black Power movement had a focus of independence and self preservation through means of owning a firearm. Every single law that was created to limit the Second Amendment was focused towards Black people not being able to protect themselves. I got another one for you. This one's called Negroes with Guns. And this one right here is by Robert F. Williams. This book, too, also speaks about what we have done with our independence while being able to protect ourselves. If you notice, right before the presidency, a lot of Second Amendment type bills were starting to be dispersed of. They were starting to be relinquished. If you notice, there are some states that have magazine
So,
capacity bans. Some of those have been
yeah.
rendered unconstitutional, and for a good reason. It is because there's much more that's happening behind closed doors
You don't
than
sound
they
like
want you
nobody.
to
I know
actually know.
your number's
And
under.
so you should be able to defend yourself
He's one
because
of my
they
partners.
never do these things without a reason. I got one more book for you. This book is a lot older. This is
Sean,
Roget's International
I'm PK.
Thesaurus. This book came out in
Yeah.
1867.
okay.
No, I
It's
don't.
legit. It's legit.
I got your number
This is
under,
this is
No,
a
I know
legit
any
book.
which is Doug, and that's who I
any
thought.
books any
That's
books
what I was told.
1920 and up
That's
have
why I
been
didn't
heavily
respond
altered. So I know that's a
Yeah, he knows who the hell I am.
Some good scholars wrote this book. Some people who meant scholarly
But
purpose
I'm on a radio show
wrote
right
this
now.
book. And so in this particular time, if you look up what it means to be a people,
Sorry about
a
that. That was a mistake on my
Negro,
end.
a colored person, it defines us as black, blackamoor, Jim Crow, darky, Sambo, ebony, the image of God, cut in ebony. That is what's defined as black people in this book. In this particular book, in 1867, we were just a few years out of slavery at that point.
and not even then. Not even then.
Not even that far.
Because remember, well, maybe you haven't seen it, but it was it was a movie called Alice. It was based off of a true story, and Alice didn't know that slavery was abolished at the time. So she decided to run away, and as she's running away, she almost gets ran over by a semi truck. And it's in the 70s. It's in the 70s. She's a slave. She's deep in the woods somewhere, and she's still a slave. And she had no idea this. Yeah, the early 70s, late 60s. She was still she thought she was still in slavery because she was enslaved. She was legitimately enslaved, and she had no idea until she ran away and just so happened to stumble upon civilization.
And see, that's kind of what's going on with the world right now too, man. That's a good point you just pointed out, Maya, because we are still enslaved now. You know what I'm saying? They give us enough. I mean, some of us make it out of it, some of us get comfortable with it, but they give us enough to pay for a roof over our head. I mean, and you notice this is a cycle of life. You go to work, you work 8 hours a day. You work more than you have fun. That's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to work every day, and then you pay your bills, and you buy your food, you gas your car up or whatever, You keep the lady happy, whatever. And the worst thing about us black folks is we got to go to the store. At first, they was throwing scraps away. Now we go to the store and buy them. They was throwing pig scraps away, guts and the feet and the ears. And now black folks are going out and paying $25, $30 for a bucket of pig guts. You know what I'm saying? So and they're convinced that it's okay to eat that. Do you know how many parasites are in pigs' guts?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's already in the meat. It's in the meat. Pigs are one of the only animals that if you put it in a jar and put a lid on it, the worms are gonna grow. Worms are gonna grow out of it without a fly ever touching it.
Yeah,
You
pigs
know
are
what I'm
just.
saying? So the meat is highly parasitic. And so we do this and we take our hard-earned money and be like, oh, I want some chitlins, because that's what you've been raised on. That's what your generational life knows, is to eat damn chitlins and pig ears and pig feet and shit. You know what I'm saying? I was one of those people. So I know, but now it's like we're enslaved to believe that shit's okay. So by the time you pay your bills, fill your refrigerator with food, by the time you do all that, you're broke. And the only way you're gonna get the money is to take your ass back to slavery, not back to work. You got to go. And people even say, "Oh man, I gotta go slave at this job," because you still a
That's right.
slave. They're just taxing it now.
You're
They're
tied
just
to
putting it
that.
in paper. They're just making you believe that you're succeeding. When I mean a lot of people are succeeding. A lot of people make it,
Yep.
get blessed or get smart and go buy them some land and
Hmm.
control their own generational wealth. You know
I
what I'm
told
saying?
you
So
what my
there are
plan
some
was,
smart
good
black
BK.
people out there,
Well, you
but
know
y'all
what?
better.
You know where they really cut us out of the loop, you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Was
and you touched on a really good point, BK, because they in a sense they do make you feel like, you know, you're doing so much and you're succeeding so much, even if you make $100,000 or $200,000 a year, you're really not making anything, because you have billionaires out there who
mm-hmm.
are literally controlling the narrative. They control the banks, they control the grocery stores, they control the media, the algorithm. Like, they control all of it, you know. And
Yeah.
when they say, okay, red pill or blue pill,
Mm. That's like
They
real
still only
literal.
giving you two options, and we get stuck in that. You get stuck in that two option thing, thinking that that's the only choice you have, and it's not necessarily true. Like I told BK last time we sat together, we had a conversation. I said, the caliber. That's what I said. The caliber of man needed to fix this cannot be produced in the quantity needed fast enough.
Mm. Yeah, you did say that. I
The
remember that.
caliber of man needed to fix this cannot be produced in the quantity needed fast enough. And
Mm.
so eventually, eventually, men who see themselves as protectors of their community, you are going to have to take responsibility of families that are not yours, alongside whatever family you have already. You are going to have to take on the brunt of protecting people you might not even know, because it's just in the best interest to do so.
Yeah.
And when we get to that point, you will understand that. And I'm not saying you specifically, but anyone who is listening, you will understand that now it's truly time to actually survive. What we think is survival right now, this is nothing. This is nothing. When that power grid goes out, when that food chain, that food supply shuts down,
Mm-hmm.
and no one's got anything to grow, No one's got any seeds in their house. These people who live in these really urban areas, I'm talking about concrete jungle. Them people who live in those concrete jungles, those folks are going to have it the worst because don't nothing grow in the city. Don't nothing
Not,
grow in the city. Not fast enough for it
not,
to actually be harvested. No, nothing grows that fast in the city. And if you got cities like Chicago, where there's easily 2 million people in that city, and you got cities like New York, there's easily 3 million in that city, and cities in LA is 3 million in LA. How you
So let
gonna
me
feed
ask
all
you
those
this.
people?
So that's
How
the
are those
start of
people
the.
gonna feed themselves? Well, you know what? For us, because what's going on over here ain't going on in every single place on the planet. It's just not like that. There are there have been entire civilizations that did not have the technological advancement that we have right now to produce the quantities of food. We choose to have hungry, starving people. We are a very wasteful people,
yeah.
the American people. We produce plenty of food in order to feed numerous people. We choose to have hungry people. We choose to have homeless people. Those things can be solved. Those things are solvable. There are
And
whole
that's
apartment complexes that have empty vacancies that folks could be living in. But if you can make $1, why not? That's what society is. It's a capitalistic society.
the elites.
Mm,
I told you. Look,
Money
see,
rules all.
that all
But
goes
see,
back to the elite.
it doesn't have to do with the elites. It doesn't have to do with the elites because there are politicians that live down the road from you who have been in positions of power long enough to fix things and to put the moniker of they're doing it to black people or they're doing it to brown people or people of color or women or this, that, and the third. There are people who have been in office long enough to fix these things,
You're
yeah.
and the
right.
only thing that they
They
can say
could,
when they get back to you is they're against me. They don't want to see this person succeed because
because they
they
don't.
don't want.
Yeah.
No, them
Hey,
people
I
don't
see we
care.
got a. I don't mean to cut you off. I see we got a few people listening to us, man. They've been listening for a minute. If you guys want to call in and comment, if you want to call in and comment on this, well, of course, if you're watching the podcast, you can go to our Facebook page, Bruce Knight. But if you're listening on the radio, I see a few people on there. Call in, man. Get it off your chest, man. 719-715-1097. We got a pretty interesting subject going on. This
See,
blog.
now you say it doesn't fall under the elites, but it absolutely 100% falls under the elites. And I don't know if you I'm just throwing the subject out there, as I don't know if you have dug into like the elitists or like the occults or anything like that,
Hmm.
Freemasonry, but
Hmm.
cults go super, super, super deep, like even back past Egypt. Okay, because I mean, let's just nip that in the butt. Egypt was never even called Egypt. Okay, that's a completely Latin term, English term. Um, Kemet, the land of
Mhm.
Kemet.
Yeah. Hmm.
You know, the land of Kemet, where people used to come to obtain knowledge. What about, okay, this
When
land, right?
Galileo was being called crazy in Europe, we had universities teaching astrology for 1,000 years already.
That's
Way
right.
before that. Way before that. And that's why, you know, I feel like the Hebrew Israelites, they're on the right track, but I don't feel like they get deep enough into it because our history is so vast. And I've studied a lot of history. I've studied Indian history. I've studied, the Orishas from
Mhm.
Africa, the European gods. Australia, I haven't really done too much, but and the Americas has an amazing history. And a lot of people like to say like, oh, this is the Native American land, which in a sense, yeah, they kind of came and adopted. They they passed through that Australian land bridge. You know what I'm talking about? It like
The
freezes
Bering
over,
Strait.
and then yeah, they crossed from over there. But there were already people here on North and South America way before anything. We were crossing this bitch left and right. We were going to Africa, and we were trading with them. There were already indigenous people here, point blank. People don't want to say, mention it, but there
Mhm.
were the Olmecs, there were the Mayans, there were the Incans, but the Olmecs were there first. And there's too much evidence that the Smithsonians, they try to cover up. They have all kinds of stuff over there. When somebody went down to Arizona into the Grand Canyon, and they found all kinds of crazy things like mummies and um, old ancient artifacts, writings on the wall, just like so-called Egypt.
Mhm.
So,
What does the great experiment mean to you when you hear that? The great experiment. What do you think that means?
uh, um, this earth,
Great experiment means.
the whole shebang bang, the bringing of life forms to this earth, the
But America
it's like
specifically is referred to as the great experiment. America specifically.
Yeah.
America specifically.
But America
Hey,
specifically is
hey,
referred. I'm getting a
that's.
lot of playback. It's playing back in my ear right now. America specifically.
Are you getting feedback?
Yeah.
That's maybe. Did you adjust your volume on anything?
No. Go ahead, Maya. I think
Am
it's
I
better
getting
now.
people? I don't hear it.
Yeah, I don't hear it either. It's got to be on your end.
I'm good. I think it's just my ear. You could say what you were saying. I couldn't hear you because I was rehearing myself. So
What?
Yeah.
I hear feedback a little bit too now.
I think it's just my ear. You could say what you were saying. I couldn't hear you because I was rehearing
Yeah,
myself.
it's playing back exactly what you just said.
Oh, you hear feedback too?
Hmm.
Well, here, let me. Well, maybe it's on. Oh, well, you know why?
That's just started too.
That's my bad. That's my bad. I'm sitting here with the radio, so
Oh,
Oh, okay.
whatever you're saying, it's
I got you.
playing
You
on
got
the
us running on this on there
radio.
too. I got
So,
you.
so, so that means the mic is just picking it up. So let me turn it
Okay.
down on my end.
So I'm gonna leave you with something because it looks like we're getting really close to the cutoff time.
Yep.
How much of the Bible have you read, regardless of translations being misused or designed a specific way? Do you believe that there's a hidden message in the Bible that
Okay.
has
Hey, all right, Corey. I don't want to interrupt you, but we've been getting a lot of comments here,
what they saying?
and I'm not reading them. We got a whole book here. Big Hank.
Read them. Well, yeah, let's get
There's
there. Let's
somebody
get there.
named Big Hank. All right. It says they are monopolizing. Oh, they are monopolizing on real estate investments, and to the degree of putting those less fortunate on the middle strip of Home and keeping the grants to the own society. To that, you have to go down to the regional building to find out about the minority and how you can get in for his employment and um, tears. It's been cutting out the middle classes. There's a couple of mistakes.
oh,
He's probably typing fast. Then he says, "Yeah, that shows black community well. They allow the area nation of KKK to march through their town as the governor, but
I've
yet,
heard it.
oh wow, did y'all hear this? They'll allow the KKK to march through their town as the governor, but yet
Mm.
That's
when
some
the
white,
neighborhood
some white
control
type of stuff. Yeah.
when the neighborhood controls their own security, uh, then they ask them, well, why would they walk around carrying guns? You know what I'm saying? It's okay when you do it, but it ain't cool when we do it. That's all that tells me. But yeah,
Second Amendment right there, Corey.
yeah, man. So that's
Tell
what's up, Big Hank. Then they asked them why would they walk around carrying guns, and you told them the same thing. Well, watch it over. Well, I mean, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So basically, if you're asking us the same thing we was asking y'all, why the hell they walking through our hood with guns? So we went and got ours. So yeah, thumbs up, Big Hank, for putting that down there, man. Before you sign out, we got a gift for you, bro. We're gonna shoot you a gift. Um, we got a few things, so we're gonna give you a choice, man. Don't go nowhere, Hank. If you got a way you want us to contact you, do that, or else you can contact us at 719-419-0. I mean, no, 719-715-1097. I'm gonna put that in here on the comments. 719-715 719 715 1097. That's good looking out, Hank, man. Keep posting that up for us, man. And that's my number, man. You can contact us here at the station, and we're gonna get those prizes out for you. All right, my apologies for interrupting. It's on you.
Was that the only one that you saw?
Yeah, Hank's the only one. Well, we got about 5 new heads on there. But Hank's the only one that's commented so far.
Okay.
So we do have some people listening like live right now, and I don't know exactly where they're at, because our radio station is a worldwide radio station. So we don't know right now. We don't know where they're at. I used to be able to tell where they're at, but right now my logistics aren't giving me that. But, yeah. So man, yeah, I think we are about past that time. What is it? We got about 3 minutes. We're gonna get
Final
up out of
thoughts?
here. Huh?
Final thoughts?
5 or what?
Final thought.
Final.
Oh, final thoughts. There you go. My bad. Yeah, okay. Final thoughts. What's your final thought on this, Maya?
Well, Corey was saying something. In
Well, I
regards.
was going to touch on like religion for a little bit, but it seems like that might be a good opener for us to come together again. So,
Oh yeah, man. Okay, yeah, because I can really tell you about some religions because, like I said, I've studied it all. I've studied the Indian cultures. I studied the European cultures, the South American culture, like just Orishas, all that. So that is a good opener, and I definitely would like to touch on that for sure.
definitely. Okay. Can we do tomorrow? We can do Friday. I'm good on Friday. I could do a Friday evening show. It'll be good. It'll be good. What time zone you in, Maya?
Eastern. So it's
You're in
11.
Eastern time zone. So it's late for you. Okay, so let's do it earlier. Let's do it earlier. Yeah, I could do that. That was good.
Time before we get up out of here. I don't know what happened, man. We had everybody on the screen at one time, and then I did something and I can't get it back. I don't know, but man, it was a really good show. We got a lot of attention, so we're gonna do this on the radio more, because we're actually pulling more attention and more response on the radio as we are on the social. And the reason for that is because everybody that's on the social media, they're not watching it right now. they're getting these notifications and they're probably looking at their phone saying, "Oh shit, BK is live," and then putting the phone down. You know what I'm saying? But then they're gonna go back into it later and be like, "Oh shit, okay." So then that's when we'll start getting responses on it. Opposed to radio, when they turn that radio on, they're listening to us like right now. You know what I'm saying? So they're commenting to us right now and they're getting the response from us right now. And that's cool. So we're gonna start doing it like that all the time. You cool with that, Corey?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right, man. You good with that, Maya?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
All right. This is Bruce Knight. Bruce Knight, and we just want to say thank y'all for participating. You're offline, Maya. Are you there? All right. Well, there's Corey then. We're gonna say thank you guys for participating. And hey, keep us jumping, keep us cracking, man. It's Block Movements, man. We're about 1 minute, 16 seconds past our time. And we're gonna holler at y'all next week. It's the Block.